If you work in manufacturing, you know that carbide prices have increased significantly this year, forcing a lot of shops to ask the same question: what are the alternatives to carbide tooling? Today, we're talking about the main alternatives to tungsten carbide cutting tools, and why tungsten carbide is still the go-to for a huge range of machining jobs. Let's start with one of the oldest and most familiar options: high-speed steel. High-speed steel is still widely used, especially in lower speed work, manual machining, and smaller production runs. It's economical, it's tough, and it has a level of flexibility that carbide doesn't. That flexibility can actually be an advantage in certain situations, especially when setups aren't perfect or when you need a tool that won't fail catastrophically under stress. But here's where it starts to fall behind. As speeds increase and temperatures rise, high-speed steel simply can't keep up. It doesn't have the same hardness, it wears faster, and it loses its edge at elevated temperatures. Carbide, on the other hand, maintains its cutting edge at much higher temperatures, which means you can run faster feeds and speeds and still get longer tool life. Now, if you take high-speed steel and push it farther, you get cobalt high-speed steel. This is essentially an upgraded version. It handles heat better, it performs better in tougher materials, and it extends the range where high-speed steel can be effective. But even with those improvements, it still doesn't match carbide. Not in cutting speed, not in wear resistance, and not in the kind of consistency modern CNC environments demand. It's a situation where you don't just need a tool that works, but a tool that performs reliably over long production runs. That's where carbide separates itself. Now let's move into more advanced materials, starting with ceramics. Ceramics can be incredibly powerful in the right application. They perform extremely well in high-temperature environments. They're often used in hard milling, and in some cases, they can actually outlast carbide. But there's a trade-off, and it's a big one. Ceramics are brittle. They don't tolerate shock, they don't like chatter, and they struggle with interrupted cuts. So while they can outperform carbide under controlled conditions, they're far less forgiving in real-world machining. Then you have cermets, which are a combination of ceramics and metals. They're known for producing excellent surface finishes, and they can be very effective in certain finishing operations. But like ceramics, they tend to be more application-specific. They don't offer the same versatility, which means they're often used as a targeted solution, not a general one. At the high end, you've got materials like CBN and PCD. CBN, cubic boron nitrate, is extremely effective in hardened steels and superalloys. In the right conditions, it can outperform carbide in both tool life and surface finish. PCD, polycrystalline diamond, is the top choice for non-ferrous materials like aluminum and composites. And these tools are incredibly powerful. But they come with two major limitations. They're expensive and they're highly specialized. You don't reach for them unless the application demands it. So if you step back and look at all these options, a pattern starts to emerge. Every alternative to carbide excels in a specific area. Some handle heat better, some are tougher, some produce better finishes, some outperform carbide in narrow applications, but none of them do all of those things at once. And that's where tungsten carbide stands out. Carbide hits a very specific balance. It's hard enough to cut at high speeds, it's tough enough to survive real-world conditions, and it maintains its performance under heat. That combination matters more than any single advantage. In real production, you're not optimizing for one variable. You're optimizing for everything at the same time. Carbide lets you run faster. It reduces downtime. It minimizes tool changes, and it delivers consistent results across long runs. When you look at cost the right way, cost per part, not cost per tool, that balance becomes extremely difficult to beat. Now, that doesn't mean carbide is always the answer. If you're doing low-speed work or simple operations, high-speed steel can still make sense. If you're working in extreme heats or very hard materials, ceramics or CBN might be the better option. And if you're machining aluminum or composites, PCD is often the right choice. These tools exist for a reason, but for most CNC machining, milling, and general metal cutting, carbide remains the best all-around solution. Not because it's the best at everything, but because it delivers the best balance of performance, durability, and cost efficiency. So when you're comparing tool materials, the real question isn't what's the hardest material, it's what gives me the best results over time in real production. And for most manufacturers, that's still tungsten carbide. I'm Brian Falk from Scientific Cutting Tools. Do you have any other alternatives that we didn't cover? Share them below in the comments.